Well, what a wonderful sight this is to see our cathedral so full this morning. We're especially grateful to have with us so many members of the Franciscan Sisters of the Newman community, Mother Marianne's community. We welcome you here on this celebration, and we assure you that we are joined with you in prayer until the day when Mother Marianne becomes our own Saint Marianne. We in the Diocese of Syracuse have a great desire to have our own saint, and we're going to work with you and be with you as we continue that wonderful celebration. Thank you to so many others who are here, associates with the sisters in the work of the church here in the Diocese of Syracuse and far beyond. Thank you to all who come here to our cathedral church, the parish church of all who call the Diocese of Syracuse home. We welcome you. We assure you always that we are united in prayer in the various parish communities that make up this diocese. This year, our diocese will be celebrating its 125th anniversary of its foundation. And during that period of time, and even before, there have been many saintly people living within our diocese. They lived holy lives, and they served God's people. Many, following the example of Martha in today's gospel, did so in quiet and hidden ways. They listened for the whisper of God's voice and acted upon the direction contained therein. That work continues today, and people of all ages and walks of life, as they respond to the universal call of holiness. Most of those who have gone before us, parents, relatives, and friends, will never be publicly recognized as saints, although we know deep within our hearts that they are. Even though the mind is the place of memory, the heart remembers too. Acts of love and kindness by those who have journeyed with us and have given us a glimpse of sanctity. Today we remember not the many saints who have gone before us, but our own saint in waiting, Blessed Marianne Cope. Born in Germany, raised in Utica, educated in our schools, welcomed into the Franciscan Sisters of Syracuse, teacher, principal, nurse, religious superior, hospital founder, administrator, and finally, and ultimately, devoted missionary to Hawaii. As residents of Syracuse, we continue to enjoy Blessed Marianne's legacy. St. Joseph's Hospital owes its survival to her deft leadership. Where others feared to tread, Mother Marianne reached out to those in need, the sick, the elderly, the alcoholic, the outcast. Doctors, nurses, pharmacists, clinicians, all learned from her. As Superior General, Mother Marianne was in a unique position when the letter came seeking sisters to staff a mission in Hawaii. With courage, she accepted the challenge. There were the trials and tribulations that accompany any new beginning. They were no doubt exacerbated by unfamiliar climate and customs. Eventually, concern for others prompted her to respond to a further call from the Hawaiian government in 1888 to care for those who had leprosy. This response would take Mother Marianne into exile to be with those she served. She would never again return to see family or friends. Nonetheless, Mother Marianne selflessly entered the work to care for the outcasts. Cheerfully and courageously, she accepted God's will. Did Mother Marianne reflect on the words of the prophet Hosea today? God called her and betrothed her with integrity and justice, with tenderness and love. She responded in love to his call, returning love for love. In the second reading from Corinthians, she can be recognized as the chaste virgin betrothed to Christ. And in the gospel, we see the need for a delicate balance between activity and prayer, which confronted Marianne just as it does every faithful disciple of Christ. When St. Luke recorded this episode in the gospel, his intention was to establish a balance in the lives of Christians between the need for practical charity and the importance of hearing the word of God. The point of the gospel story is that Martha and Mary together form the ideal disciple of Jesus Christ. The disciple must hear the word of God and put it into practice. Since people had very busy lives and lead them today, they're tempted to give little time directly to God in prayer. Jesus emphasized the example of Mary, an example of prayer and listening. This emphasis on prayer and listening is one which is needed in the lives of most of us. The lives of the saints are love stories. Their lives speak to us about the gratuitous love of God that calls to their hearts, draws them to himself, and compels them to reach out in love to each other. Blessed Marianne listened to this call throughout her life and responded with a yes many times over to what God wanted. What she achieved was due to her inspired personal love of the Lord, expressed in her love for those abandoned and rejected by society. She was able to do it because she had established a personal relationship with God, a relationship of prayer and listening to God's words. I think if Mother Marianne could speak to us today, she would tell us to do likewise, to listen attentively to the Word of God and to act on it by serving our brothers and sisters, especially the least among us, like Martha did. May we follow Mother Marianne, Blessed Mother Marianne. Follow her example on our own path to holiness.